right. Well, one more thing, real quick. We'll do a couple minutes and then we'll get out of here. But so RFK Jr. We've tagged him a lot because he's a creepy, weird guy too. Um, we didn't really get to talk much about that, but the whole, so I don't know if you guys saw the Salon piece. You should check it out about his past, but like it went into like his drug use and brain damage problems, and then it went into the former family babysitter that he sexually assaulted. Went to his, God, like hundreds of affairs, probably cheated on his wives. His second wife, who's the mother of four of his children, he left her because he was dating an actress who was with like CSI or something, and left her and didn't want to pay her child support or alimony because he wanted to have all the money for the new wife, right? The new mistress, whatever, and tried to bribe her therapist into into testifying in court that she was mentally insane and couldn't have the kids. Therapist refused, but he still was able to get somebody to testify to that in court. So she ended up losing custody of the kids, and he claimed to have the brain damage, so he couldn't work and make money, so he couldn't pay alimony, right? So she got left with nothing, and then he wanted to make sure she couldn't get a job or anything and get stable, because then she'd have a reason to go back to the court and try to get custody. So just destroyed her life completely. And it was so pathetic and desperate on her part, she begged him to let her live in the guest house because she didn't have a place to go. And he said no, and she hung herself.
Oh boy.
That was the mother of his children. Family values, people, right? Anyways, total piece of shit. But we've been telling you from the beginning, this guy is running to get Trump elected. He's not running to win. He knows he's not going to win. That's why he's only on the register in 9 states. He's not even attempting to really win. He's just attempting to fuck it up so that Trump wins. And after Trump was shot at, there was a release where he got a phone call from Trump and they were talking. And it was kind of bizarre because it was very familiar and they were talking about stuff. And it was very devastating for him because Trump was basically asking him for his endorsement, right? And he had mentioned this, well, maybe we could talk about that kind of thing. Well, this is why. Salon posted recently, I have a lot of respect for President Trump. RFK Jr. was dangled endorsement to Trump. He was going to drop out and endorse Trump if Trump gave him a White House job. This is total pay-for-play, quid pro quo shit. So shortly after the attempted assassination of Trump on July 13th, Kennedy was contacted by a person who knows the former president to set up a phone call between the two men. They spoke later that night and agreed to meet in person at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. All I will say is I'm willing to talk to anybody from either political party who wants to talk about children's health and how to end the chronic disease epidemic, which he's talking about vaccines. He thinks vaccines are a chronic disease epidemic. He wants to get rid of vaccines. He's fucking nuts. Kennedy and Trump also met in Milwaukee to discuss possible jobs. So he met him in Milwaukee to discuss possible jobs Kennedy could take within a second Trump administration, as well as the possibility of Kennedy exiting the presidential race to endorse Trump. The conversations did not result in an agreement, but as there was concerns from Trump's side about the optics of promising Kennedy a job in exchange for endorsement. So he went to Trump. This isn't even reverse. This isn't Trump saying, yeah, drop out and give me your endorsement. Sure. Kennedy went back to Trump and said, you know what? I'll do that if you give me a job in your cabinet. And he wants to be in control of health and human services. So here's the guy who wants to get rid of Wi-Fi because he thinks it causes cancer. Do you know how many businesses would shut down? Like 90% of them. If we didn't have Wi-Fi. We're doing the show on Wi-Fi. You guys are probably fucking watching this on Wi-Fi. This guy is fucking insane. But that's what he wants. But he was such a sleazeball, he went to Trump and said, you know what? I will turn out and endorse you and betray all my voters and show what a sham this whole thing was for me to try to run if you give me a job. And Trump seems like it's not worth it. It looks bad. That's all I gotta say. The guy's a fucking scumbag.
I can say I do not want him in charge of anything related to my health care.
Well, you can see why his family felt the need to write a letter. His
Right.
brothers and sisters and his mother felt the need to write a letter saying, we do not endorse him. He does not represent the family. Because he is really a piece of shit. And they know that. But when your own family is saying, no, trust me, my brother, my son is such a piece of trash, he cannot be in anywhere in any authority. You know, we love him, but he cannot have any power. Because he's a nutball.
Yeah, that says something. Your family is going to make like a public statement about that. Not even just a, well, if you know them, that's what they say about him thing. Like literally going on the record, making a public statement to that effect, you know?
Yeah. Considering what he did to his second wife, I mean, I think that just tells you everything you need to know about the guy.
Right.
He cares more about money than anybody. Even somebody he claimed to have loved. The mother of his children. You don't even have to like the mother of your children, but you can't be a dick about it if you love your children.
Yeah, I mean, that becomes, when you have children with a person, I mean, treating them outright badly is not good for your children.
No.
You don't have to be super kind to them, but you need to at least not be an outright jerk to them, you know?
Right. You can hate the person you have children with, but you can't be a big piece of shit to them if you love your children, because your children are attached to that person too.
Right. At bare minimum, you have to try to at least conduct yourself neutrally toward them for the sake of those children.
Right.
You know?
Right. Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, so that was Kennedy. And that's all I had on him. So unless you had something else to add.
No. Well, I'm just going to add what I always say. Well, that was really weird. And I've been saying for months, apparently everybody else has caught into what I have been saying on our show whenever we start covering political news, being like, and it just keeps getting weirder.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, and it just keeps getting weirder.
They're weird and creepy. Weird and creepy. All right. So that's it. That's all we had to do.